So I have data. This one I'm really glad is on the most used list this year because of the sheer price of this bag. Before I do the next three together, I feel the judgment. I feel it already coming down the screen. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a lot of handbags. So this year I decided to track which of those bags I was actually using and how often I was using them. So I have data. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at my most used bags of 2024 and my least used bags. All of the bags on the most used side have been used more than 5 times, and all of the bags on the least used side of this video have never been used or have been used once. Now, I appreciate that 5 times may not sound like a lot to sane people, but when you have this amount of bags, and bearing in mind that a lot of my work life I take the Neverfull and nothing else, 5 times is pretty decent in my collection. Now, the one bag I am not going to share with you because obviously it is on my most used side is the Neverfull. I use the Louis Vuitton Neverfull every day, so that is a given. The rest of these are the bags in this side of the collection, so let's start with the most used and number 1, and these are in no particular order. All of these have been over 5 times, but the first is this Chanel mini flap. I adore this bag. This is the bag that I pre-ordered on the runway. I then had a bit of a, oh, is that bag actually going to be nice? Because this bag does not do itself justice on camera. You do not get the true beauty of this bag until you see it. And I think the proof of that is that when I bought this bag and unboxed it, Meredith, Lisa and Meredith, Lisa and Deb all went, oh yeah, that's kind of nice. Then I saw them all in New York and I had this bag with me, and now everybody owns it because it's that stunning. This bag, the colours on it, it definitely is more vibrant in real life. I wish I could actually take a picture or a video and show you what this bag is like, but I just can't, no matter many times it's on camera. But this is definitely one of my most used bags this year. This is a bag that I go to use. So if I'm putting an outfit together, or if I am just putting anything, throwing something together, I will want to use this bag. I will come in here and look for it rather than going what would look best with the look that I'm putting together. And that for me always means that the bag is a real winner. And to be honest, at this price, most bags should be like that, but we live in the real world. There's always going to be favourites, not that there should be, but she is absolutely one of my favourites at the moment and definitely a most used. Next is the Chanel Rose Gold Mini in the caviar in the chevron. Chevron is my favourite over quilting, and caviar is just that much more durable than what the lambskin is. This bag gets so much use in my wardrobe because it is, as Meredith calls it, an interesting neutral. It goes with everything. I do not buy a lot of neutral bags. Really, Amelia? I don't like plain or neutral bags, so this, because it goes with so much, gets an awful lot of use. But it still has that iridescent on it. It's rose gold. It's still beautiful. So I don't feel like I'm using a boring bag. And I know that everybody's perception of boring is different. But for me, neutral bags just don't really light that spark. But when I use this as a neutral, because it has that much going on with it, I don't feel that. So this is why this gets used so much. And I bring this bag out nearly every summer and nearly every time we go away somewhere. Although I have damaged it by not... Yes, I know that was really bold of me, but I didn't wrap the chain properly and I stuffed this into my suitcase, and you can see the damage of the bag. I know better than that. But anyway, she continues to be one of my most used bags year in, year out. Another summer bag is the Prada raffia bag, the reedition, and this is always on my most used list because it's so easy to use in the summer and it's so easy to pack. The problem we had with that one when I damaged the leather because of how they sit up when you're packing them, you have to be careful. This is so flat. You can just pack this with your clothes in your suitcase and it's so easy. It fits under your arm perfectly. It's really light to carry. It's got bright colours. On holiday in the summer, this bag comes out so much. I actually let go of my Chanel raffia mini because I kept using this one. A lot of you thought when the Chanel came this would go, but no, this is the bag that I still reach for. I've had this a few years now and she comes out and is heavily used every single year. I think it's a fabulous bag. If you can find one of these on the resale market, such a good bag. This one I'm really glad is on the most used list this year because of the sheer price of this bag. The price is astronomical and it is the Louis Vuitton P9 Speedy from the Pharrell Williams collection in this beautiful soft leather. This was actually, look how much she just squishes and lies there. She's just fabulous. This was actually the bag that I used yesterday and today. I just love the leather, and red isn't even, although I'm wearing red, Red as a handbag isn't even my favourite colour. Deep pinks definitely would be more preferred than this, but she's just gorgeous. It's just the leather, easy to use. I wear this bag crossbody. I don't really wear this bag as a hand carry. I know a lot of people do, but I don't love the Speedy as a hand carry. So generally she's crossbody, and I take this bag a lot with my children to places where I probably shouldn't be taking a bag of this price. But yeah, really glad that she has made it to the most used list this year. Next is the cheapest petite malle in my collection. I know, those ones cost more money and they're not on the most used list, although I think the monogram one might be now, since I did the counting up of this. It might have sneaked in or just about, but this is the pink epi leather petite malle. This is the older style, so it is smaller and thinner than the newer one. This one I bought pre-loved from Designer Exchange. It is epi leather, which is practically indestructible. Mine does have marks all over it. There will be drinks spilt on that. There will be, yes, it will have been. This bag will tell stories, let's put it like that. But she is on my, oh yes, she came to Paris. There is the Summit from 2024. This is the bag that I actually took out for a full day shopping in Paris, and then we went up the Eiffel Tower at night just because I love her. Is it the most practical bag to take for a full day shopping? Well, no, it really wouldn't be. It would drive you nuts if you weren't crazy like myself, but this bag I just love, so I look to use, and she's, yeah, most used. Beautiful. Love the tackiness of all the conflicting strong colours. Great bag. There's a theme that runs through this video of my most used, and none of them are shy and retiring. And next is another Chanel mini, and it's this sequins one. This I love. I wear that one when I need a black base. I wear this one when I need a white base. And this one just looks like a sweetie wrapper. It's so cute. It is Coco Chanel all over it. This one has the doubled up, it's the 4 grommets, so you can put this under your arm, although I generally don't wear it like that, but it does give that option. This is a seasonal bag, so it's very light. It has white leather on the inside, and then this part of it down here is fabric. So it is a very light bag. It's a very summery bag. This is a bag that ties into why I have sold the coral and blue tweed bag, the Chanel raffia bag, because I buy so many bright, fabric-y, sequency Chanel crossbody bags for summer, for when the weather's good, and this is the one I keep going to, and I made sensible decisions this year to let some of the others go. But this one, yeah, most used. She's just so fabulous. How could she not be on the most used list? You'd be forgiven for thinking that I like sequins. This bag is also on my most used, and I only bought this bag in August. As I say, everything on this side of the list has been used at least 5 times. Since I brought this bag home from New York, I have looked to use this bag, even with this. And does it really go? No, but who cares? I just adore this bag. I look to use it. I will put it with outfits that it clashes with. It's slightly bigger than a mini. It carries a bit more, so I can fit a bit more in it. Makes it that bit more usable. You can see all the mess in there. Love this bag. And even though she's only here from August, she is very firmly on this side of the list and one of my all-time favourite bags. One that might surprise a few of you, because I don't think that this is many people's favourite on my channel, and it is this colour block fabric bag from Chanel. This was pre-loved. This is pretty used. This is quite an older bag. You can tell that when you're feeling it, but I just love it. I just love the different colours. And this is a bag that I throw across me and out we go. I will use this a lot with my children because it's lighter. I like the different colours. I still feel like it's giving something because it has the different colours in it. I know that fabric is maybe not the most sensible, but I really love this bag. It does go under your arm as well. Generally, that's not really how I carry it, but it would work. The different colours give it interest. Again, a great buy, and I would say in a lot of people's collections, definitely in the least side used, but for me, she's up there. The penultimate most used bag is the Chanel Teal Mini in the caviar in the chevron. I definitely prefer chevron. It's just my favourite out of that, and the quilting. The teal in this, I suppose because I don't have as many teal bags as pink bags, it's not competing with that many bags, so it does get used. I took this to New York. It's a great bag. The only thing that limits how much I use my leather minis is I have an old shoulder injury, and these, even though they're minis, with them being full leather, If I wear this crossbody all day, it will start to ache in that ball in my shoulder where that injury is, and I will really feel it. When we were in New York, I ended up with this off in my carrier bag because it was pulling on my shoulder. Any bag that I wear for long periods of time throughout the day, especially if they're leather, and that is why the raffia and things like that will work for me. But she's still beautiful. I still wear her a lot. I think this is a great bag, and the colour of it's stunning. The final bag in the most used side of this video is one that I started the year by saying, I'm not buying that. Yeah, it's great, it's hot, yeah, good bag. No, not buying it. And it is the Loewe, oh, it's got my gloves in it. It is the Loewe squeeze bag in the small size in this pinky purpley colour. I've said this in so many videos now, it's just so usable. Yeah, revolutionary. Being that little bit bigger, easy to use crossbody, put my book in it, my hat in it, my gloves in it, my children's drinks in it. It's just refreshingly easy to use after using so many mini bags and Tetrising them. It's just a great bag and I really love it. I love the hardware on it. Even though that I do have that shoulder injury, this is so padded. It does help on your shoulder whenever you're wearing it, as opposed to the Chanel, which is just pure chain with leather through it. Definitely makes a difference. Easy to use bag, great bag. I only bought this in October and I have already used this more than 5 times. Already it's on my most used side and I've had it for 2 months versus some of these bags that I'm not even going to finish that thought. But brilliant bag. If anybody's on the fence about this, I think it's a great bag. And for me, who was a firm believer that all bags had to be tiny, this has actually been a really good purchase. Least used bags in my collection. All of these bags have either been used never this year or once. And I know that's a disgrace before anybody tells me in the comment box. I know that. But let's get on with it. And number 1 has to be the Chanel Christmas jumper bag. I've still never worn this bag. And I have never worn this bag because I haven't gotten around to getting the chain extended and it's too short for me. Crossbody, I love it though, I think it's cool. This is the way I want to wear this bag, with something like this today, very casually, but it needs to be longer, otherwise it's up here, which is not flattering, not comfortable, and nobody needs to see that. This, my New Year's resolution, has to be to send this bag off and get the chain extended and the leather replaced so as I can finally start wearing this, because I think it's cool, and I know it's not for everybody. I know a lot of you think this bag is hideous. It's called the Christmas jumper bag around here. It very much reminds me of skiing. I think it's great. A lot of my bags are not for everybody. My bags are very individual to me, and there's a lot of them that people are going to think, oh, here she goes again. And this is one of them. But even though I've never used this bag, she's not going anywhere. That chain will be extended. Another bag that I have never ever used is one of my beloved petite malles, and it is this in the 1854 collection with the jacquard fabric. I think this bag is stunning and beautiful. The reason that I have never worn this is I get nightmares about setting this down on a table and the red wine just seeping all over this bag. I don't even drink red wine, but I know that when I go out that things can get a little bit messy. So I would have to be very careful where I take this to, and it would have to be somewhere that I know that it could sit untouched and nobody would bother it, and this bag would have its own little perch, and I would be one of those people, because I just don't want this bag to get ruined. And that leather, that little rise in the leather, is not going to stop. If you set anything on that, it's going to seep into it. And we all know that I drop things. That's a thing around here. And yeah, she's never been used, but I love her. This is one of the few bags that I am happy to have in my collection as a collector's piece. One of the few bags that I'm happy to be here that I don't use, but I want to keep. Oh, there's another bag that I've never used. Should I tell you about that? I have never used the multicolour Speedy from the original Murakami collection, and I will put a picture in because it sits out there in my office. I bought that bag though for decor, so I'm using it how I intended to use it, but I've never actually taken that bag out, and I never will take that bag out, I don't think. It's very big, it's very heavy. Let me grab it. She's glorious and she's fabulous, and I much love this version of the black multicolour more than I do the new release that's coming in January. But she's big and she's heavy and she's bulky. And I had no intention of using this bag when I bought it. I wanted a piece of this in my collection. I wanted this on display. That's why she's here. But if we're doing least used, really she should be in it. Least used also. Why did I not pick them both up when I went outside? This would also be on my least used bags. This bag I will use though. That other Speedy I won't. That's there only for decor. This is decor and sits on the shelves in my office. And I kept this bag because I wanted it in my collection once I accepted that to myself. And Meredith, we have to stop hanging out. This stripe in the Alma and the Brene, I just love it. And I wanted to have it in my collection. I wanted this here. And that's the truth of the matter. There's little dents in it. It's not in 100% condition. But once I accepted the real reason I wanted to have it, meant it could stay. But this one will be used. It's still on my least used because it won't be used that often, but at least it will be used. But I think she's beautiful. And having her in my collection as a collector's piece, she's going nowhere. Also least used this year is the Arty capucines. This is the capucines in the BB size. This is one of the Arty versions. This is when different artists collaborate with Louis Vuitton. They didn't actually do it this year, and they design capucines. I think 2 years ago for the first time they did it in a mini. There's not that many versions in mini. It's generally the BB and the MM. This is the BB. It has this beautiful enamel on it here. This bag is stunning. I get asked to sell this bag a lot, but I just don't think I could ever let her go. She's that beautiful. She is a real collector's piece. I am happy to have this bag and use this bag the few times that I use it and have it here in my collection. I know that it's not going to be one of my most used bags or used on an everyday basis because look at her, she's a piece of art. She's also a hand carry mostly. I don't really like this bag crossbody, but I think she's stunning. Can't see me letting go of her, but definitely one of my least used bags. The only bag from New York that I haven't actually used yet is the fluo petite malle, but I adore her. Adore this bag. Love it. This bag just reminds me of Meredith, and she has it in her collection. She was with me. Lots of the emotions, but also I love the bag for the bag. And she is definitely going nowhere, but she is so fluorescent. She is pink highlighter. Think pink highlighter, and that is the colour of this bag. It will take specific outfits. There will be certain occasions to wear this. It's not going to go with everything because it has this raised bit on it, which is fabric, which Meredith tells me is because it was part of the tennis collection, means that it's not going to be just as easy to use as that epi one, because that one I take it out all day. If it sits down on a drink or you throw it down, as I tend to do, not such a problem. It is when there's fabric on a bag. So this one I haven't actually used yet. I haven't had the occasion to use. I will use this bag and I still adore her. Black and white Alma, one of my least used. I love this bag, but for me, I generally use it handheld, which reduces the amount of occasions when I'm going to take this bag with me. And it also means that there's a lot of bags handheld that it's going to compete with. Not going to be thrown across me crossbody as much, but I do love this bag. I think it's stunning. I love the bright gold hardware against the black and white malatage. I think she's beautiful. That gives you just those contrasting colours there. I think is stunning. But she is this year one of my least used, although no regrets in buying this, and she's not going anywhere. Before I do the next three together, I feel the judgment. I feel it already coming down the screen. I love these bags. I don't care that they're in my least used. And because I have so many of them, means that they're in my least used because there's different ones to choose from. And I'm not even counting the newest one because I've just got it, but it is my mini capucines collection. We have the magenta, which I adore the colour of. We have the black, which has the plexiglass handle and the light blue inlay. And we have the lighter pink with the enamel handle, which is in the Japanese art of repairing with gold. It's stunning. All of these are stunning bags. I am not selling these before I get all of the messages, but they are in my least used because they're awkward and they're fiddly, and I have repeats of them, as you can see. So there are times whenever I could choose any of them and I will choose maybe the one that I haven't used. I will always keep going back to these and always keep using them. But in 1 year, they're in my least used because there's so many and they're just not the easiest bag to use. Why do I keep buying them, you ask? Because I'm crazy. I think we've established that by now. Next, back to Chanel, and this bag is a beauty. This is the metallic reissue in the multicolour that was from the Metriart collection. This has a really good colour profile over it. It definitely has the gradient. It's beautiful. It has the bright gold light hardware. It does have the double grommets because it is the reissue, so it can go like this or it can go crossbody. This falls victim to being one of those summer bags I'm talking to you about, and it is there for competing with the sequins, for example. I do have less of them now because I have sold a few of them this year. So hopefully going forward, this will get used more because there's not as many of them competing. And yes, I hear those words when we just talked about the capucines and why they don't get used. And shh, we're not going there right now. But yeah, she's beautiful, but one of my least used. This is one of my absolute favourite bags, and it is my Chanel Mini in the chevron in the lambskin. The reason that this is on my least used bags is because I love this bag so much and I love the colour of it so much, and it being lambskin, I have tried to subconsciously in my mind protect it and tried to wear it less because it's lambskin, and you can already see the corner wear on it, and that happens with lambskin bags. But the colour of it is that stunning. I did have a Chanel Cocoa Crush in the same colour. I have sold the Cocoa Crush because I knew that having that one and this one, I was using that one and protecting this. I wasn't using it, and this is my favourite one. So I need to get over myself and stop doing that. So that one has been sold. This one now will get used more. She's stunningly beautiful. The colour's beautiful. It's very squidgy lambskin. The thing about lambskin is it's a very luxurious leather. It's beautiful and it saturates the colour really, really well. So I just need to get over that fear of using her and use her more. And there's very few bags in my collection that I'm precious about and worry about using. But this one, because I love it so much, I do find myself almost subconsciously protecting her. This one is relatively new. I got this in August. I got this at a steal of a price on the pre-loved market. I have worn this bag, but it is on my least used side. Because I bought it very, very recently, it is a bit like the petite malle. Navy is never going to be one of my most used whenever you have those bright colours, which is why I was happy to pay for this a very reduced price rather than the retail price. This was a bargain for one of these bags. It is beautiful, it's in great condition, and I have certain outfits that it really, really works with, and I love to put it with that, so I know that this will continue to get use. But I don't think it's ever going to be on the most used side, and I'm okay with that given what I paid for it. And the last bag on my least used bags, and all of the other bags that haven't featured in this video are in the middle somewhere. They have been used between more than once but not over 5 times, and as I say, there's a lot of bags competing for use. But last is the Olympia Latan bag. This is the burn book from the Mean Girls movie. I have used this. I took this to dinner. I've told this story before. My husband wondered why I was taking a book. I think it's quirky. I think it's cool. I got this in the sale. I don't know if I'd have paid the full price for this. Actually, I might have because I'm nuts. But I was definitely a lot more comfortable paying the sale price for this, given that it is a novelty, it's quirky, but I think it's really cool. And I also think in my sort of collection, it fits really well. And I know I will use it and continue to use it. It just won't be a most used bag, I don't think, any year. So those are my most and least used handbags for 2024. I know I have a lot of bags. I know there's a lot of repetition, but you're watching a luxury handbag channel. There's going to be a lot of bags. I adore them. They make me happy, and I am happy with my collection as it is at the minute. There's nothing that I'm thinking, oh, I think I should get rid of that. So even the ones that aren't really being used, I'm still loving and happy to have here, but time will tell. Thank you so much for watching this. Let me know what you think about my most and least used. Let me know what you think in general, and if you've enjoyed this in any way, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing. And if you're not done with me yet, I'm going to leave another video for you on the screen to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.